Welcome to Plague of the Day. I am Ken, and with me is Nate and Chris. Hello, guys.
Hey,
Hey, so we're doing something different. Like we used to do another show about
yeah,
sports, and we didn't really know anything about sports, but we did it. And now we're going to go even further into things we don't know and understand and talk about those.
I
So,
like
like,
the sound of
yeah,
that.
so basically, like when I proposed this to you, you guys are like, "What are you talking about?" And so basically, the plague of the day, I was thinking, is actually my sister-in-law came up with the idea, is because I complain about things, and like she's like, you should call it the plague of the day, and what is plaguing you that day. And so that's kind of like what's bugging us. And I thought it'd be cool. We talk about what's bugging us individually, what's bugging what we think is bugging society and the world. And then occasionally we're going to bring in people who know a little bit more about that subject, and we're going to ask them questions to see if they can figure it out. Um, and so, some of the ideas I had, like right off the bat, like we're going to be bringing in a guy who knows about the housing market, because I know that's like bugging everybody. And it seems like especially elections are coming up and coming by, and each time those people who are running have solutions to fixing the housing market, and no one seems to really do it, and then it just sort of bursts and it starts all over. So I've already got a guy lined up we're going to bring in to help us with that. Like, one of my other ideas is I like to get, like, I guess, theological, and something that people seem to always go is like, how can there be a good God and bad things are happening? And I got a guy lined up who's a priest that I thought would be cool to bring in to we just hammer him with questions about that. And see
What
what
denomination is he?
well, he's Catholic.
Spoiler,
He
sorry. I don't
Yeah,
know if that was a
yeah.
secret.
No. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, it's a Catholic priest. But then I want to bring in,
Well, you
like,
said priest, not pastor, I guess.
yeah, but
It was
I'd like to bring in a pastor too, like a different. I want to bring in people from other faiths and ask them, like, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like different subjects that may help us understand those things. Like,
Well, I've always been fascinated by paranormal and stuff like that, ghosts and haunted
yeah,
places and things like that. I think it would be kind of cool to bring in a demonologist and see what they have to say about things.
And you
oh
can ask
yeah,
them, how can there be good in the world?
yeah. How can there be good and moral with all these demons everywhere?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, flip it.
well, I know I've talked to you about this, Ken. The only reason why I really enjoy watching Ghost Adventures is because I like making fun of Zach Bagans.
Yeah,
Guy is, I'm sorry, he just really. I mean, he's brought a lot of attention to ghosts and paranormal, but him as a person, I don't know. Off subject. I'm sorry. Um,
well,
cut this whole portion
no,
out.
I'm not cutting anything, man. We're going with what I don't even know what rabbit hole you're about to go down. Let's hear
Yeah,
this.
no,
I
I
don't
mean,
think he does either.
I lost my train of thought halfway through that. No, I've been to different places. Well, you and I have been to Gettysburg. We did the whole
Yeah,
ghost tour. I've been to Mansfield Reformatory. I've been to Eureka Springs and visited the Crescent Hotel. San Antonio, I visited the Alamo, which is very, very haunted. And those are the things that I really find fascinating and enjoy. Tombstone was another one that was absolutely incredible. The Birdcage Cafe or Saloon. If we could bring somebody else on this actually,
and
talk to, seen, or interacted with, the paranormal, I would love to be able to have somebody like that on the show.
yeah, and ask them, like, how like their thoughts on what is the afterlife.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that be another good question for the pastor or the priest.
we'll bring in a pastor too. I'm saying bring in anybody that knows.
Yeah,
I know
no,
there's some people who
great.
get into that. The people who suppose, like, die and then see things, like,
Mhm.
out of body
Floating
experiences.
over their
That
body,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can
That'd
see
be
everything that's
interesting
going
to
on.
figure that out.
No,
But I know, like,
yeah, that'd be great.
another thing, like wars, like what is going on. Like, I, my thing with politics is, like, and I don't really want to delve into, like, politics as in, like, which side's right, which side's wrong, but what is the reasoning, or what is the point of trying to use politics to divide people. Like that, I'd say like 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, you could maybe you gotta go a little bit further. But it used to be yeah, you had the left and the right, and
Mhm.
they may like met like dog on each other, but they could work together.
Yeah,
They
we were
could
talking about
find
that.
they could find common ground. And you hear them today, it's like, well, we just need to find common, but they never do now. Now it's like they pivot like to the point like people are like hating on each other, or like wanting people dead.
Well, it was like
It's
we
like
were
you,
talking earlier. Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill. I mean, Tip O'Neill was the Speaker of the House. Ronald Reagan obviously was the President of the United States. They used to get along great, even though they disagreed on different issues. But from what I understand, they had like a weekly whiskey get together, and they'd hang out and they
that
got
might
along.
be
You
how that
can't do
might be
that.
what they need to start doing more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Get them drunk.
Get them
Or
drunk to
maybe
run
just an ayahuasca trip. I heard that's a very important thing politicians need to be doing.
No, they used to get along. They used to be able to talk, but now if you disagree with somebody, it's just
Well, I mean, this is
the
we're
devil.
like really like all over the place. So this is
Yeah.
it's that first episode bumpy road on the way to getting our feet like
Yeah.
running. But on this subject, we're talking about division. There's like a CIA document. We're already getting ourselves
Yeah.
flagged for the
No,
algorithm
no.
and the NSA,
Let's
but
do it.
uh,
Flag us more.
there was an old CIA document. I can't remember what decade it was, but it's all about this. It's all about getting people to just like naturally pull each other apart. And it's
Mhm.
like there's just, like different little strategies, one of which being like uh complaint, like make it a problem about like little nitpicks in language, like for now, like don't say homeless now you say unhoused, for example. So
Yeah.
like the person who is said homeless and the person who is like no, you got to say unhoused, the conversation is already derailed, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like there's little things like that we could get into or not, but
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't like the word police. Where you can't say this because it offends the homeless. Well, you know what? I think being homeless offends them more than anything.
all
I don't
right. So
think they should be called
it's
homeless.
all about that kind of thing. It's just
Yeah,
like
no, absolutely.
pull each other apart over minutia.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't
And
call them manholes because man is oppressive.
yeah. Just call them holes.
Yeah,
People holes,
people
man.
holes. Yeah.
But how many
Orifices.
women want
Call
to
them
go down
orifices.
in that hole?
I'm not even touching that one.
So, but yeah, so I like that. That's kind of like the different things. Like I think we can go over and we can have fun with it, because that's the other thing. I want to have fun with it, like
Yeah, no,
because I think the
no.
best way to deal with, like, at least for me, like when I have a something that ticks me off, I find the humor in it. And I think a lot of times we don't focus. Like I think we need to have. I think three of us can have humor and still get into some serious topics without, you know, like yelling at each other. Because
No,
I don't think we disagree that much with each
Oh,
other
we'll
on
find out,
anything.
right? We
Oh,
can.
we will.
I'm sure
Like
we
when we
will.
get to flat Earth, and then I just come out and say, dudes, I look outside, I have a level, and I bring out my level, and I show you it's
See,
level.
it's flat. Yeah.
Yeah. How? How's it round? It couldn't be level.
It's true. I think you've already
Like, and if the
convinced me.
Earth is rotating from east to west at 1,000 miles an hour, how come sometimes the wind blows from the west to the east? Yeah.
Making a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm blowing your mind right now. I've watched the videos, man. It's fascinating.
No, I can't wait to pull out the map and just start delving
Oh
in.
yeah. Yeah, if
Yeah,
I get,
no, that's gonna be
I mean,
great.
what we might have to do, I think it'd be fun, maybe, and you guys can tell me this is a dumb idea, is if we did a episode of us talking about the subject, then the next episode we bring the person on, and then
Hmm.
we get their
Like the
idea,
expert to just like totally
derail
debunk
what.
our previous episode.
Yes.
No, I think that's great.
Here's
I
why you
like
were
to have
talking out of
things
your
to
ass, and here's why you were talking out of your
Yeah.
ass.
And be like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, because like that, then our first guess is going to be on the housing market. And like, I'm confused by that. Like, I mean, I've bought houses, but I still don't understand it. I don't
Yeah.
understand how I cannot tell you how I was able to afford my first house, but that I bought it. I was one of those morons that bought, and I probably am the reason they had that first housing burst back in 2000, whatever it was, early 2000s. Like I was one of those people that bought a house that I should not have been able to buy. But I mean, I don't know that that's true because I never defaulted. But it
But
like,
today, you would have never gotten that deal, is what you're saying.
yeah,
So,
I'm like, there's like, I look back and I'm like, I should not have been able, like, my credit was not that good.
Yeah.
Like, cause it was my first time buying a place. So like, I should not have had the interest rate I had. And and there was a lot of like, they're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to if you put $50 into this, it'll look up here and we'll do a quick, I think they called it a something where they do something to your credit. So it makes your credit score go up really fast. And then you do all the paperwork and then you do it. And it doesn't matter. The next day, your credit's like a 2.
To where it was.
Yeah.
I'm a bit younger than you guys, but I
Thanks for rubbing it in. Yeah.
well, we got a whole show, got maybe years of it.
Yeah.
So I only recently learned that a credit score was not a thing until what, the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean people were buying houses before then.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't run. And the thing that's really bothersome, like with the credit score stuff, that like my kids, my son's in college and my other daughter just graduated high, and they're trying to get credit, and then they're getting turned down. Like, well, you don't have enough credit. It's like, exactly, we're trying to get
Right.
credit,
Yeah.
but like in order now, it's like you got to get a credit card in order to get credit, and so basically
It's all scummy, man. I
yeah,
don't like
it
it.
is. It's dirty.
Yeah,
And
and as soon as if your daughter goes to college, right? As soon as she gets there, that's gonna be
yeah,
one of the first things she encounters is somebody trying to get her a credit card.
Well, I
Like
yeah,
somebody
remember
will
when I
be
went to
like
Ohio
when I went
State.
to there, that was one of the first things I saw were booths of different credit card companies, which
I
is just
signed up
like,
for a
geez,
dozen of them
like you're
because I
just
got
turned
free
18.
shipping.
You're eligible. Want a credit card? You want some? Let's get in on
yeah.
this debt
Yeah.
early.
No,
And,
absolutely.
yeah, and I love it because what happens is they'll get that credit card. It's like, okay, they're in college and they don't have jobs, so
Yeah.
how are they going to pay this off? And then
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
Mommy and daddy.
yeah, like, and then like my son, like he just bought a car, but I had a co-sign for him, and so,
Oh, yeah.
but I told him, I go, dude, I go, you better pay this because I'm not paying for it, and you know, and if I get messed up on my credit because of you,
You're like, I'm repoing
boy,
your car before they do.
no. Yeah. No, but like if it got to a point where he was like, dude, dad, I need help, I would do it just because I don't want my credit get screwed. But so far he's been
You
really
got
good
to
about it.
delete that part of the episode if you watch it.
Yeah. 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 I was like, weird. Like my mic went out in that like brief second when I can't tell you what I said. It's like, I'll just bleep it out. So no one will ever know what I said.
I don't think you
No,
ever have to worry about Link doing something like that. That
no,
guy,
no. Yeah. Yeah. He's,
great kid. Great kid.
yeah, he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like that, like the whole credit monstrosity, the tentacles. I almost said testicles, and I just did. Like they,
Well,
like
Yeah.
I mean, they grab you by them
yeah,
when
but male and female, they grab you by those
Yeah.
credit testicles and they pull you down, and it's
Mhm.
not enjoyable. You don't enjoy that.
No.
No,
No.
No.
there probably is people that do enjoy
Very
that.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. Nate would know that
Yeah.
it's
It's a fetish.
yeah. But like Chris, like what are like some of the things that bug you?
Nothing
That,
bugs me.
what, dude?
Just
Golly.
I mean, right now, the top of my head is moving.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna.
I
I was gonna throw
that's
that
just
out there.
been my life for the last two-ish plus months, probably more.
Yeah.
Is it just unpacking right now, or is it?
Man, my whole life has just been moving. I've moved several. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've moved, but I've moved several times in my life, and this has been the biggest by far, and just the most exhausting. And I It's just been my whole life. I've been to Goodwill so many times, and I've learned the ins and outs of Goodwill, what they don't take, what they will take, and uh, beyond that, I had to, you can get a dumpster dropped off at your
Yeah.
curb. I ordered four of those, and I could
Oh,
probably still do it again.
Yeah. I've done
Um,
that.
yeah, and it's just been nonstop. And now I'm finally in the new place, but we're just surrounded by Costco totes. So it's convenient for the moving process, but much less so when you're just trying to get rid of stuff and put stuff away. Like you're trying
Yeah.
to get acclimated to the new space. Some places are bigger, some places are smaller. I don't have this anymore. I got to figure out a solution for that, and blah 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 blah. Getting utilities going. I have solar now, which is awesome, except it's not generating any solar. So I like right now, it's like I have these panels. I think I haven't seen them, but they're too high to see. So I'm assuming I do. I can't reach the people because it's the weekend right now. Same thing with this security system. They hooked it up, but half of it's not working. Can't reach them. They told me they text me. They didn't text me. My life is just like I can keep going and going and going and
Yeah.
going with all this stuff. But that's my plague of the day, if you will. But it's like the plague of the last quarter of the year.
I
Okay.
saw something really neat. I don't know. I think it was Elon Musk that came up with this. They have these roof tiles
Yeah. Yeah.
for solar
Oh
panels
yeah.
that look like shingles. That way, you don't have these big obstructive,
Well,
eyesores.
I think I have the big obstructive eyesore. I can't see it, so it's not an eyesore, but it's I'm hoping it's just there, to be
And
honest,
that
because
it's
it's
working.
supposed to, and that it's working. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
working.
Can,
Yeah.
can I tell you the secret about Goodwill?
What's the secret? Just drop it off.
They, yeah. They will accept everything after 8 p.m.
Yeah, when they close.
Like
Let's
we
see, I
don't
think
take,
Goodwill has cameras. I
dude, just don't let them, pull up in a way, cover those license plates,
Yeah, it's
man.
the
And
license plate that gets you, man.
Duct tape is a wonderful thing.
yeah.
What's that? Duct tape.
Duct tape,
Yeah.
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 I don't know, man. I don't want to deal with the California
Yeah.
police.
California is probably worse than where I'm at. Like,
Ohio's
Yeah, I
wonderful.
mean, I live in a very populated area now, so it's
oh,
like,
okay.
uh, and I do see the police activity, so I don't want to mess with that. I'm very now, like Big Brother kind of things. This is something we could talk about on the show too. But, there's
Yeah.
just cameras everywhere. Here in the UK, it's like 100 times worse than
Worse.
it is here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've
But
seen
I am now part of the
go
problem. I have
anywhere being
not a
filmed.
ring, but I have a doorbell camera now too. So I'm
Yeah.
part of the people that are pointing at you.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those videos. Those
Yeah.
on Instagram and TikTok. Oh, those things are great.
I wish like a few years ago, I wish I would have had one, but I never got one. Because like when we first moved into this house, these kids ding dong ditched me
Mm.
around Halloween.
Yeah, we
And it
never
was
did those
yeah,
kids.
it was like midnight. And the problem, like I wouldn't have cared, but I had to be up at 4 to go to
Mm.
work. So I was
Yeah.
pissed. But
Yeah,
the
that messed
best
up your
part,
sleep, right?
yeah, but the best part was like at the time I just had two dogs and uh they went around the corner of my house to like after, and I could hear them, but I couldn't see them. Well, my one dog, Raja, started howling because they're both huskies, but she was just doing her like woo, 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 and they started laughing. But then Rex, who is her dad,
Yeah.
he has the scariest, like he rarely, you rarely hear him bark, howl, or anything. But in the fall, they refuse to come in the house, so they just sleep outside.
Oh yeah.
he
Huskies love the
he
winter.
he does this low guttural werewolf sounding howl growl thing, and it scared the ever living crap out of these four kids. And suddenly I see them. I live right next to a cemetery, and he did his, and they took off running through the cemetery screaming because they had no idea. And we've never had
He's the
anyone do
size
that
of
to
a
us
wolf.
again.
I mean, the guy
Yeah,
is huge. Rex
he's
is
huge.
enormous.
Yeah, he's old, and he's old. He's like 13,
Yeah.
so he's like old man now, but he's still intimidating. If you see him, he's like you would can't tell he's 13 because he doesn't act it, but he
Did you
just
ever
like
get the dog sled that you were wanting?
no, never did it.
Oh, that would have been fun. That'd be
Yeah,
a good video.
yeah. Pull my kids around in the snow, but
Yeah.
yeah, I never did it.
School.
But so I just think we'll have fun discussing different topics because also there's probably like stuff that comes up every day, like in the news that probably bugs us. Like,
Oh yeah.
like
Everything bugs me with the news.
I know that,
Yeah. I
and
mean, I'm just a constant, complainer.
yeah, I know,
Yeah, I call
and
you up and complain.
yeah. But now you can do it here. You can complain on here and have others listen to you besides me. But I think we'll have fun doing that and like getting into like the subjects and seeing what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Because you know, because I think you guys both have. I like your insight into things. Like Nate, I've known you forever. Chris, I've known you. I'm starting to get to know you forever. I've known you a long time.
Yeah,
You
it's been
probably
a
already
while.
know what I'm
Jeez.
going to say before
Yeah.
I say it.
What?
Me. I said,
Yeah,
you probably already know what I'm going to say before I say it.
yeah. But I want to hear it because it entertains me.
No, I like
And
your
what's interesting now? Here's the thing: we both have friends named Tony,
Yes.
and that. Well,
Wow.
you and I and Chris has a friend named Tony. He knows who I'm talking about,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, isn't his name Tony?
I have no idea.
He is super political. I thought his name was Tony.
Tony.
Or is
Oh,
it?
yes, Tony.
What
Yes.
would bring him
I,
up?
I I was just thinking, Tony, sure. But yeah,
No.
that Tony. Red.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony.
But like I think the thing is we have a friend named Tony that's kind of funny in his own special way, and you do too. Maybe
I
we can
tried to get that Tony on the show once, and
we should try and get him on this show.
he was a
Absolutely.
pain, man. Like he said I'll do it, but you know, I want he gave me a full list of rules, including like him having the final say of the cut and like whether or not like if it goes up and he doesn't like it, he can have me take it down. I'm
Oh,
like, no, I'm
God.
not gonna waste my time on this.
No.
Oh,
Well, maybe
he's
we
a
can
Karen.
try again, and you can say this is a different show, man. And I
He's
would
a
like,
Karen.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he speaks these days, but
no, okay,
he would be a good guest, I think,
He-
content wise.
yeah.
We gotta
Because
get
I
Vic.
remember seeing his posts, and they were always entertaining. So,
Yeah.
We gotta
but
get Vic on here too.
who?
Victor?
Oh, Vic.
Oh,
Yeah,
Vic,
gotta be-
yeah,
Yeah.
Vic.
No, I'd love to talk wrestling with him.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because I'd like to know, is it fake?
No.
Yeah, we got to get down to that. You know, if we're gonna
Yeah.
be talking about the moon landing and all that,
Yeah.
we
What
gotta get
else
some
is fake?
wrestlers on here.
The moon landing's fake and wrestling. Which is faker, the moon landing or wrestling?
Moon
I'm
landing.
saying the moon landing.
Yeah.
I actually going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buzz Aldrin never went to the moon.
Oh,
He-
don't
Hey,
let
be
that-
careful. Didn't he hit somebody for that? Was that Buzz?
Yeah,
Or
but
was
did
that-
you? I don't know. He may have, but did you
There
see
was
that?
a
Oh, yeah. No, he
documentary
punched
guy
somebody.
who
Yeah, no,
got in
somebody
his
was-
face about it. I think it
Yeah.
was Buzz.
Yeah,
And
no, it
he
was.
just he got sick of him and he smacked him.
No, he flat out
Yeah.
punched him right in the
Yeah.
face. I loved it. I was like, yeah. I love Buzz Aldrin.
So you
He's
gotta be
it'd be-
careful,
it-
Ken.
great.
It would be great to get Buzz Aldrin on here because he also went to Antarctica. Like,
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Like-
Are we sure that's Buzz then?
I don't know, man.
The-
No, I think he did. Look at. We'll have to
No,
look
but I'm
it up.
saying, are we sure that the guy we think is Buzz Aldrin is still
Is
Buzz
Buzz
Aldrin?
Aldrin.
If you've
Maybe.
seen the thing.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It could all be AI.
Maybe
We
he
could
knows
be
about
AI.
that hole in the Antarctic where the UFOs
Yeah.
are and where
Yeah.
Oh, they found
That's-
that creature recently. You see that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that weird slug looking
Yeah,
thing.
that was also a the thing moment. Where
Yeah,
it's just
it's
like, what
like-
are we doing here? What are we
Yeah.
messing with?
Yeah. Why do we do stuff like that?
Or Ludacris. You see Ludacris, he just drank water from I think it was the Arctic or
Yeah, and it was like salty, right? And
I
it was
don't know
like,
what it tasted like. I saw him act like he enjoyed it, but everyone was like counting down, like making sure he didn't get some kind of weird parasite.
yeah. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, maybe we can like talk to P Diddy. See, maybe have a Diddy
Oh,
party.
maybe we can get
Yeah,
P Diddy
if you
on.
wanna get-
You know,
well-
Zoom would be the best
Yeah.
route.
Probably Zoom is probably the only route
Yeah.
We're
for
going to have to
him
do it quick,
right
though,
now.
because if he goes into prison, he's going to be dead. You know,
He's already in prison.
He's in prison or jail or
Yeah, he's in jail. He's being
I'm
held
just worried
without.
about him turning into like Jeffrey Epstein type. You know,
Well, he can't because he's P Diddy. He's not Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think he's going to be around this time
I
next.
think I don't know. I think there's smoke to that fire. I think he is a potential Epstein
Yeah.
uh, recreator. I don't know how you
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no,
sequel.
I think like what's weird is it's so funny. Like I've seen some things on not necessarily P. Diddy. Well, I guess it is, but it's well, one, you have like 50 Cent, who apparently
He's,
started that he just released or the new documentary. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it yet,
yeah.
but it's coming out on Netflix. But he's been working on that for years. And it's
Oh,
and like this is always
he,
like
he
beautiful
hates.
publicity for him. Like,
Yeah.
man, and then but then you go back and like South Park, uh
Mhm.
Family Guy, American Dad, like all these and then all these like and then even like what Justin Bieber's song. Like everyone
Justin
keeps doing
Bieber
that
and
one. It's like
him.
doing the song. It's I
Yeah.
just wanted to get a Ferrari, but I lost my soul at a Diddy party. And
Oh, I didn't hear that
oh, you
one.
haven't
Yeah.
seen that? Oh
No.
my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
it's on Instagram. Like every fourth person is redoing it. Like they're
Yep.
sitting in the car and like, what did he say? Like it's the
Well,
new
like
like
when I
it's the
first realized what he was saying about Diddy type thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but like he did a whole song about it. But a few I don't know when, but like I was like, but like South Park did this whole hilarious one where like Satan, their big Satan
Oh yeah.
guy, and he's like trying to think of something really bad to do, and he's like, oh, Diddy did that. He's like, well, I don't want to do what Diddy did. He's like, and then he's like, well, Diddy already did that, and he's like, well, we got what didn't Diddy do? He's like, and it's one of the best. And it's like 6 years old, six,
It's
seven years
probably even
old.
older than that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
it's
that.
so,
Yeah.
but it's so funny. It's like, what did he do? What didn't did he do? It's like it's Satan's that because
I
he's
just
like,
like hearing you say that. I mean, it just
yeah,
sounds funny.
yeah, oh yeah. Like if you can look it up, it's one of the funny. Like, and I was just like, and I remember seeing it at the time, but I wasn't like processing it other than like, oh, it's funny
Well,
because
who
they're saying
pays
did he
attention?
do and what didn't did he, like that's funny. But
Yeah.
then you're like, well, wait a second. Obviously, it's it's out there getting a little bit more
Traction.
traction because like obviously people knew what was going
Yeah,
on
yeah,
or
Oh,
exactly. Stories
absolutely.
like
it,
him or Weinstein, like they were
yeah,
like well-known
none,
secrets within their own
yeah,
respective
well even
industry.
like Kevin Spacey,
Or yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
I can before we end this, like I'll tell you a Kevin Spacey story.
All
Like it
right.
was not with me I do have a John Travolta story that was
Oh,
did involve me personally, but he
really?
didn't hit on me, and I'm really upset about it. Like I was like, dude, man, supposedly he hit on all these other dudes, but apparently I
Yeah.
wasn't attractive enough.
You're just too
Wow.
And
old.
so I don't know. I was like, what the heck? Come on, Travolta. But anyway, a friend of mine is a friend of this. I don't want to say the name because I don't want to piss him off, but he's a director,
All right.
famous director. And when he was up and coming, he was out in Hollywood and he had his agent and but he got invited to a party at Kevin Spacey's. So he went in and he was there for about an hour and then he started looking around and things started getting weird. And he was like, what the F is going on? And this guy's a pretty, I mean, if I tell you a name, you both would know who he is.
Yeah.
And he
What
was,
kind of weird was he talking about?
oh, just kind of weird, like, okay, I don't want to be here, kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he left and he got in his car and he called his agent and said, dude, man, and he goes, I just was at a party and this stuff started happening. So I left and the agent goes, whose party was it? And he goes, oh, Kevin Spacey. And the agent goes, you never go to a Kevin Spacey party. He goes, from now on, if you get invited to a party, you tell me who it is. I will tell you if you go to that party. He goes, you don't get in that crowd. He goes, you're too new. He goes, your career will be, he basically said you would be bought and
Wow.
then your career would be taken in a direction you don't want. And this was like 20 years ago
Wow.
and or more. But he was just like it was
That
like
was like
basically like
17.
basically he's just saying like if he would have stayed, they probably would have had something on him and be like, okay, you're gonna
Mm,
start doing this and this for us, and
yeah.
you're gonna and
Wow.
that's what the agent was telling him. And I was just like, that's and my friend told me this story before the whole thing with Kevin Spacey came out. And he was like, he goes, yeah, my friend. And he told me who the guy was. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. And they are legit, really, they've been friends for a long time, and he has pictures together with their kids and stuff. So he wasn't making this up. And I was like, that's crazy. And then, but he had told me the thing about Kevin Spacey. I was like, oh, really? I kind of always liked him in movies. I always thought he made a good bad guy. And then like 6 years later, the whole scandal about Kevin Spacey and the stuff he was into came out. And I was like, holy crap. And then I talked to my buddy. I was like, that's crazy. He goes, I know. He goes, it finally came out. And he goes, my buddy's like breathing a sigh of relief that like, because
it's just a matter of time,
yeah. So
that kind of reminds me of the stories that were coming out about the director Bryan Singer about, I don't know,
yeah.
7 years ago, 8 years ago. Similar thing. It was all about those parties.
Yeah.
And Diddy too, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
Well,
Chris,
same with,
you're
Zach
out in California. So how many of these
Mhm.
parties have you been invited to?
You know, none, but that's not for lack of trying. I'm just trying to get my foot in the door.
He's been trying. He sends letters to Diddy. He's like, is there a party this weekend? He's like,
No.
there's no party.
I've been to Costco.
Yeah.
You see that Costco put out a message saying we don't sell baby oil and we never have.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I read that article where he's like, oh, we were going to Costco. That's why we got like 10,000 pounds.
Well, I heard that this is everything is hearsay here, but I heard that the lawyer just kind of he was driving by Costco. I just thought of that excuse on a whim.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But cool. Well, so I think that's where we're going with this. We're going to be talking about things that we find interesting, but also bug us. And we're not probably going to solve anything. So we're not here to solve. We're just here to point these things out. And maybe, but the thing is, maybe we'll bring people on that can give us solutions or just make it worse. Depending on who the guest is. Maybe it'll just be like, oh, so it's worse than what we thought.
Yeah.
So thanks. So yeah. So those of you watching us and checking us out, let us know what you would like us to delve into. What is bugging you? What's plaguing your life? And we'll look into.
Yeah, we can dive into those subjects. Yeah. Maybe people can upvote comments that or plagues that you like, and we can address them.
Yeah, tell us what's plaguing you, and we'll look into it and tell you if we think it's worth it.
Yeah,
or maybe what's plaguing you may suck, and we don't care.
Right now, what's plaguing me is why do they call it the biggest martini game of the year when Florida plays Georgia?
Oh, it's a big because it's a big.
Yeah, that's just the martini part just bothers me. I don't know why. That's a plague that bothers me.
We'll probably have to talk about that when that game comes up.
Yeah, so that would be fun.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. Thanks for showing up. And next week we're going to have a guest, and he's going to be talking to us about the housing market. And
looking forward
what's going on to that. So we'll see y'all next week. See you.
Adios.